Yay! Shaniqua is here! What is up? Okay, today is, I don't know, should it just be a celebration video or what? But I guess a celebration video is in order because, for those of you who have watched the videos and know what goes on, last year, a year ago actually yesterday, but it would still be going on today because she was in the hospital for quite a long time. But anyway, a year ago, going on right now, a year ago, my mother had a massive brain aneurysm. And a year ago today, she was fighting for her life at Sunrise Hospital in Las Vegas, Nevada, in critical condition, not expecting to live, not expected to live at all. Like, there was very slim chance. The doctors had, like, no hope or whatever that she would pull through this. It was very bad. When it happened, we had just got home from going on a walk to check on some friends of hers because she was scared that something might have happened to them. So, we came home, and she sat on the couch and was like, oh my god, my head hurts. She kept grabbing her head and saying how much her head hurt. And then she just went like this, and then face planted on the ground, like on the floor in the living room downstairs. And I knew immediately what had happened and that something was wrong, obviously. You know, like, it was just, because she was like unconscious and snoring like she was in the deepest sleep of her life, you know, like just like. So I knew what had happened. You know, the reason why I knew what had happened as soon as she hit the floor and was snoring like that is because we have a friend of ours named Bruce who had two family members suffer a brain aneurysm, and he had told me what to look out for, what they went through. So because of him telling me what happened to his family, his brother and his mother, they both had brain aneurysm. One of them died, one of them lived. I knew exactly what had happened as soon as it was going on. I knew it was a brain aneurysm before I even got to the hospital and the doctor told me what had happened. So, I'm freaking out. I'm yelling at my fiance to call 911 because my first instinct was to run over there and help her, and, you know, because it's my mother. But my fiance was just in shock, like he was frozen in fear. So I got on the phone, and at first I was dialing 911 backwards. I was doing 119. So I had to go, take a deep breath, calm myself, and focus on those three numbers and dial it 911. You know, because I was kept dialing it backwards. So I was panicking. 911 got on the phone and told them what was going on. They kept me calm. They told me what to do and everything. And ambulance came. They were able to get her awake for a little bit, and she was able to tell me and them where her ID and her medical card and everything was. And then she went unconscious again, and they couldn't wake her up that time. So they picked her up, put her in the gurney, and said they're taking her to Sunrise. And I was freaking out. Like, I was losing my shit. I was calling everybody. It was like 2-something in the morning, and I was calling everybody, screaming over the phone. And everybody came from all parts of the U.S. for this situation. My Aunt Shirley came from Oklahoma. My grandmother came from Arizona. And luckily, everyone else was here in Las Vegas, so they rushed out here with the quickness. And when we got to the hospital, before they got here, we got to the hospital, and the doctor put us in this room, which is the bad news room, if you guys get what I mean. Like, that's what people call it. No, it's a room that's not good news. And when he put us in this room, it was me and my sister Kim. I was like, my heart dropped, and I was expecting the worst. And he told us that, yes, she had a brain aneurysm, and the aneurysm she had, the odds of survival were slim to none. It was only a 10% chance that she would survive this and be fine afterwards. 10%. chance of survival. So when I got clarification, I already figured what it was. When I got clarification, I dropped to the ground. I dropped to my knees because I knew there was a high chance I would never see my mother again. My sister, well, it's actually my mother's sister, but she's even younger than me. So we grew up together as kids, so I kind of like call her my sister because we have that brother-sister connection, not like an aunt connection, you know what I mean? She's younger than me by like 2.5 years. But anyway, she grabbed her hair and was just yanking chunks of her hair out, you know, freaking. And I had to get up and like stop her from doing that. Like, calm down, Kim, calm down, okay? Because, you know, like, don't, you know, like, it was just a bad situation. And everybody kept saying, the hospitals, the doctors, the hospital, everybody at the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, everything, they were saying, don't expect a good outcome. You know, we're not going to give you a false hope that everything's going to be fine, because everything is not fine, and there's a high chance you won't survive this. You know, they weren't giving us false hope, thank God. They were telling us up front, like, this is a bad situation, and this is what can happen. Yes, there have been a small few of people that have survived this, but not many people do. So, fair warning, you know, this is what could possibly be the outcome. You know, which I thought was cool on their part, you know, because they weren't saying, oh yeah, she's going to be fine, she'll be out the door in a week, you know, she'll be back to her old self in no time. They weren't doing that. Thank God. They were telling us how it is, which they should. So, she was there for about like a month and a half. She was there, it happened in February, like I said, a year ago. Going on this month, a year ago, which happens to be our birthday month. My birthday is February 16th, hers is February 17th. So she spent her birthday unconscious, in a coma, at the hospital. I spent my birthday living at the hospital. I didn't even know it was my birthday back then until my fiance was like, happy birthday! And I'm like, it's my birthday? What, really? What day is it? You know, because I was like, lost all track of time, all sense of everything. So, but anyway, she survived it. You know, but this is, seriously, like, this is how bad the situation was. Let me just show you this series of pictures right here. Okay, these are pictures my grandmother took, her mother. Here are these ones right here. Two different angles of her laid in the bed, and then this one is with my brother Donald, who came to the hospital after we tracked them down, and they came to the hospital. He came to the hospital along with my brother Dominic and his wife Lacey. But this is Donald. This is the blood bag, like how much blood was coming off her brain, and they filled up like 4 or 5 of these. You know, maybe more? I can't remember. But yeah, that's how much blood was coming off her brain. And then, a month and a half later, here's her home from the hospital. Like, woo! You know, like, so, that being said, here's a video I shot earlier, right before I started filming this part, of me and my mom together, just a few minutes ago. Like, maybe like 15, 20 minutes ago. So here's this for y'all. Hi. Okay, as promised, I'm in the room with my mother.
Hi.
This is her right here, a year later after her ordeal, aneurysm, ordeal, craziness. So, anything you want to say? You want to show how lively you are, or
I'm
what?
not lively, because I found out I'm sick.
Sick with what?
Hepatitis.
The hepatitis?
I have hepatitis C, and I didn't know that. So I thought I was depressed, and I'm starting to think that I wasn't actually depressed. I just was feeling under the weather from hepatitis.
Okay, so, but that's the new thing we're dealing with. And she also may have something else wrong in her cervix area or something. Uterus, whatever. Uterus area. And they want to do a biopsy to find out what it is. But those are new medical issues. What this video is about is the one she had a year ago, and that she is still here.
Yep.
She survived it when the odds of survival were drastically slim. What were the odds of survival again? Do you remember?
10%.
10% survival rates. 10. And she made it. She's one of the 10%. Woo!
Yeah. But I just want to say something to anybody out there that's been doing drugs for a long time, especially meth, that when you stop using meth, that's when all these medical issues pop up. And because you can't feel it. So if you're using meth right now and you've been doing it for a while, I highly suggest that you try to stop and get off of meth so you can find out what's going on with your body, because you can't feel anything when you're doing meth. So
very good words of advice there.
Yeah.
Very good words
so
of
please,
advice.
realize that you're just like destroying your body, and your health issues are there. You just can't feel them. So it's not a good thing to do meth. So please, if you're on meth, if nothing else, if you're not going to stop, at least go to the doctor and get your checkups done. So,
yeah, seriously. Because
Yeah.
we had no idea all this stuff was medically wrong with her until after she stopped using, and we were like, oh my god.
Right, well, I started going to the doctor too, like I'm supposed to, because people that use meth are just like stuck doing something stupid, like cutting paper, or just like, has a obsessive compulsive part where, if you start gambling, you just sit there and gamble, or you just sit there and, I know one lady used to scrape the crud off of the bottom of pans and stuff, and she just do that all the time. But I don't know, it's just, you tend not to take care of your responsibilities when you're on drugs, so just make sure that you, especially if you're getting older, and you're using meth and been using meth, go see a doctor, get yourself checked out, and make sure that you don't have medical issues that you're not aware of because you can't feel them.
Exactly. Because, we would have figured out a lot of this sooner, and may have possibly caught the aneurysm if she was getting regular checkups.
Exactly.
Or whatever, a lot of this stuff that we found out could have been detected a lot sooner. And these ordeals that we went through and are still going through could have been prevented.
Or caught sooner than...
Right. Well, I'm talking about prevented the aneurysm.
Yeah.
Because if you were regularly going to the doctor, they could have caught on to it at some point until it was too late. But
well, the hepatitis C too. I could have caught that.
Yeah, I could have caught that sooner.
More responsible,
I still don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they didn't figure that. Well, they weren't doing blood work for that type of thing at the hospital anyway. So
they were just checking blood work like other stuff, making sure.
Right. And like I said, also there's another thing we found out that they want to do a biopsy on her uterus to see if it's cancer, and
oh yeah, because there's definitely something wrong in that area too. My stomach is swollen. I can only pee just a little bit, but it feels like my bladder's full, and it's just like a teeny bit of pee, like.
A lot of pressure, a lot of pain down there, and there's a growth down there, and they want to figure out what it is. So these medical issues are not over yet, but this is a celebration video that she is still here when she had only a 10% chance of surviving in the first place. And she's one of those 10%. So this is an awesome, ecstatic video. A year later, she's still here. And we may have these other medical issues going on, but things...
But obviously, I'm here for a reason, because I would have died. If I was going to die, I would have died when I had an aneurysm. So God kept me around for something.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
That's how I feel. So,
alrighty.
Anyways, I'm going back to sleep now. He's a vampire. He's a night person. And
I'm a night owl. Yes, I am. I do all my videos at late at night for some reason.
Yeah. But anyways, we wanted to do this video just to say hello, that I'm okay, and to thank you for all your prayers last year, and I hope everybody's fine and have a great year.
Alrighty. I'll get back to my main video now, you guys. See you guys soon.
Bye.
So as you can see, she's coherent, she can talk fine, she can move around fine, she can do all this. She's it's amazing how miraculous her recovery was. And it's still going on. She has memory problems every now and then. Short-term memory problems and whatever, forgets this, forgets that, that's fine. We can live with that. It could have been so much worse. So, here's to the year anniversary of my mother's horrible medical condition that she had, the brain aneurysm, and I'm making this video because she's still with us. She survived it, and there was only a 2% chance that she would make it, and she didn't just survive. She is like pretty much her same old self, with minus the memory problems and some little bit of the coordination issues, but you know, but still, she's not like has complete. They told us when they found out she was going to survive, they said that she may have long-term memory loss, going back 5, 6, maybe 10 years of her memory gone. Okay, she doesn't have that. She may have to have been stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. She doesn't have that problem. Okay, she is like a miracle case when it came to the type of brain aneurysm she had. The aneurysm was near the back of her head. And it's a brain aneurysm, yes, but the term was, because I think it was a cerebral hemorrhage, right? You know, that's the type she had. You know, it was the same as an aneurysm, but they said it was I think a cerebral hemorrhage or something. And it was just, oh my God. Like when it was going on and the paramedics got here, like she couldn't see, you know, nothing, you know, like it was so bad. And then on the way to the hospital, she had a series of severe seizures on the way to the hospital, like severe of the severe seizures, okay? So it's amazing that she lived and is where's she at right now, you know, like it could have been so much worse. She could have died or lived and needed like severe long-term medical care, and none of that. She's great. So it's a miracle case, honestly. And I have God to thank for that, and also the awesome support of the medical staff at Sunrise Hospital. They did every single thing to keep her alive and make sure that she came out of that hospital the way she went in. Or, you know what I mean? Not the way she went in, because the way she went in, she was dying and bleeding from her head. But, yeah. So it's a miracle that she came out, like, you know, as good as she did, you know. And like I said, I have the medical staff at Sunrise to thank for that, because they did everything in their power to make sure she lived and was the same old person that she always has been. So thank you, Sunrise Hospital, the Neuro Institute of Las Vegas, who specializes in brain health. Thank you so much. You not only saved her from, you know, from this horrible ordeal, she doesn't need any long-term aftercare. She is just, oh. So, oh my God. Like, things could have been so much worse, and I'm just so glad that everything worked out so great, you know? You know, the thing that happened, when the day of it happened, when the aneurysm happened for her a year ago, I still have flashbacks and night terrors of that particular night when it happened, and they get bad sometimes where I'm just like freaking out and crying. It's like I'm reliving it all over again. It was a traumatizing experience, the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. I wouldn't wish that to happen to anybody, for anybody to go through that. Because what I went through was seeing my mother like that, and the whole entire time in the hospital telling, you know, hearing what I'm hearing, you know, like, it was horrible. A horrible experience. But, she's here though. She's alive and she's well and she's doing great. And that was the best belated birthday gift I could have ever gotten, ever. Because like I said, we spent our birthdays in the hospital. She was in a coma for her birthday, and I'm just like freaking out, wondering if my mom's going to survive this on my birthday, you know. So, she came home sometime in March. Like a month and a half later, she came home, and she was just, things have been great, you know. And like I said, I have Sunrise Hospital and God to thank for that. So, peace out, y'all. Love y'all, hugs and kisses. Stay tuned for more videos. I will be back as soon as I possibly can. And I was also really surprised at how great advice my mother gave in her portion of the video. Like, I was not expecting that. But she gave some really good advice. Like, woo, way to go, Mom. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah, I was just trying to show how great and well you're doing, and then you just like pop off all this like awesome advice. Like, wow, okay, perfect, thank you. That was cool. But anyway, see you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all. Hugs and kisses. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll be back as soon as I possibly can. This is a grand occasion. My mother's still here when she only had a 10% chance of surviving, you know, and so just, you never know what life will throw your way. You never know when it's going to be the last time, you know, you'll see somebody in your life. You know, it very well could have been the last time I ever had my mother and saw my mother and spent time with her. So cherish memories. Cherish those memories with your family and your close friends, because you'll never know when it's too late to say something or do something or whatever. Just to say I love you to your parents or other family members, you know, or whatever. Because they could be here one minute and gone the next. I learned that lesson the hard way. Okay? Don't take them for granted. Peace out, y'all.